Welcome to our session on body language. To start this session off, we are going to show you a few different salespeople at work. We'd like you to watch these salespeople and give them each a rating out of 10. Rate them out of 10 for how likable they are, and rate their chances out of 10 of selling you something. Well, how did you go? There are no right answers or wrong answers here. In fact, the chances of two people getting exactly the same answers for all the salespeople we've just shown you would be 1 in a million. The interesting thing about your answers, though, is that you have been able to formulate quite strong opinions about different salespeople without having them uttering a word. Says a bit about the importance of body language, doesn't it? People convey a huge amount of information about themselves and their attitude towards each other non-verbally. In fact, over 55% of the messages we send are carried through our body language. And in most cases, non-verbal messages are more powerful than what we're actually saying. Jack's body language, which features eye contact, open hands, and the fact that he is leaning towards Jane with uncrossed legs and arms, is telling her that he is open and can be trusted. The fact that Jane is leaning forward, with a slightly tilted head, hand rubbing her chin and looking upward, is telling us that she is in evaluation mode. She is thinking deeply about what Jack is saying. You can see here that Jack has become quite angry with his rigid body, with his lips closed and held tightly in a thin line, whilst Jane is showing with her crossed arms and minimal eye contact that she clearly does not like what is being said and is becoming quite defensive. Her backing off here, combined with her other body language, is suggesting that she is rejecting whatever it is Jack is telling her. Observing one gesture only is almost meaningless. Here, Jack may simply have a tight shirt collar, but put that gesture in a cluster of gestures and combine it with him clearing his throat, covering his mouth when he speaks, and his darting eyes, and his body language suddenly starts to suggest that Jack is nervous. Knowing how to read body language and knowing how to communicate open, honest body language on the retail floor will certainly help your sales figures and your ability to empathise with your customers. A great way to practice reading body language is to watch TV or a favourite movie without sound and try and pick what is being communicated and what is being felt by the different players. It's just another weapon in your sales armoury. Happy selling! amuses me to see your company spending hundreds of hours and thousands of dollars every year to get us into their stores when we were there in the first place. And all they had to do to keep us there was give us a little service. It is very easy to become complacent about customers coming to you. There is one person in your organisation that everyone must go out of their way to please. Without those people, there will be no need for the store. People seem to treat you the way you treat them. What qualities would you consider when promoting people within the organisation? As far as they are concerned, you are the organisation. They'll decide whether they will remain with your company or go elsewhere. It is an indisputable fact that the customer is the most important person in your business. Because without the customer, there is simply no need for the business, no need for you. Everyone has customers, and that's the payoff.
Are you aware of the $943,000 fine that an organisation can receive for a bullying-related offence? Are your staff aware of the $189,000 fine they can receive individually if found guilty of bullying? How prevalent is bullying in your workplace? Would you recognise the signs? Would you recognise a bully or a victim? Everyone has the right to work in an environment free from bullying, harassment, discrimination and violence. Bullying can impact on your organisation economically as well as socially. Co-written by one of the leading Australian workplace psychologists, these DVDs will dramatically explain to your staff how bullies usually like to operate, what is and what isn't bullying, how it impacts on the workplace as well as the victims and witnesses, effective coping skills, and suggestions for the bullies themselves. Australian-wide estimates of $6 to $36 billion a year in bullying-related damages makes this DVD compelling viewing for everyone.
Today, every caller likes to feel that they are dealing with a highly skilled and professional organisation. It's important to remember that you are the organisation.
I'm afraid Mr. Thompson is in a meeting at the moment and can't be disturbed.
Look, is Jeff available at the moment, or should I call back later?
Let's look at the profile of a telephone caller. Whether they're male or female, short or tall, they all have one thing in common. By listening carefully, you can pick up various clues and buying signals from the person on the other end. There are many little things that you can do when you answer the phone that will help set your organisation apart from others. If one of your co-workers is out to lunch and so on, we suggest you try something like this. People form their judgments of us 87% through our voice and 13% through our words. Some companies like to put you through the ultimate stress test. No matter what you're selling, Information is power, and there is only one way to get the information. Happy with your pay packet? That's probably a silly question. It is easy to become robotic and forget that in fact you are talking to real people. You should treat each encounter with the receptionist or PA as an opportunity to convert them into an ally, rather than that person who must be defeated. Complaining callers, no matter how hostile or agitated they become, can only rant and rave on average for 30 seconds or so. And in some cases, the biggest time waster at work is the telephone. Being transferred can be an extremely stressful event,